I'm going to demonstrate how to make a set of frog points using our PointForm tool. Frog points are these two rails here that join together and make your frog point in a turnout. And on the end of these rails is an angle, has to be filed on it. And the more precise that angle is, the better the turnout's going to perform. So we're going to use the frog point grinding jig. I'm going to cut a couple of lengths of rail. Just going to cut these a little longer than I typically need. I'll show you how to fit it into the tool and file it off. So I'm doing a number 6 turnout, so I'm going to be using a number 6 PointForm tool. I'm using code 70 rail, so this is the proper tool for that rail. And the rail is inserted in the back of the tool into the end mark frog, because we want to make our frog points. You make a left and right piece, so you need to put a piece of rail in each of these. You can do both rails at once, put it in, and file both at once, or you can do one at a time. I find it's easier to do one at a time. You just loosen open the tool up either with your fingers or with an Allen wrench. If it's a little bit stiff, we include an Allen wrench with every tool. You just slide it open. If you find it's hard to open, it jams up a little bit, just loosen up the bolts a little bit more and it'll pop open. The rail goes inside into the groove upside down. Like that. You can see the rails hanging upside down in the groove, and it protrudes out the side like that. So there it is in the back of the tool. You can see how it's upside down. And what we want to do is put the rail into the tool and have it protrude out. So the inside of this face of the rail back here, it's kind of hard to see where I'm pointing. Let's try with the pointer. The inside of that edge of the rail is up against the edge of this tool. So I'll just back it up. That's about the right spot there. You can go a little bit farther back, but for the frog points, it's better to be a little bit farther out than farther in. You don't want to have it sticking way out, because that gives you far too much material to file off. It's not necessary. So about there's the right spot. Nice tight shot of how it's sitting in the tool. And then I like to put a bit of pressure on the rail with my thumb, and that's pushing that rail tight up against the groove like that. And I'm going to tighten up the tool. I'm going to tighten it up by hand first, and then lock it up with the Allen wrench, once on each end. Now we just want to snug it in there. You don't want to cram it in too tight, because you can actually crush the rail inside the tool. You just want it so when we're filing, it's not going to move, and that's nice and snug in there. We're ready to start filing that. Okay, so that's nice and snug in the tool, and we're ready to start filing. So what I got here is a nice sharp file. This is a mill bastard file. There's several different types of files. There's single cut, double cut, bastard, mill files, lathe files. What's really important is that it's a fine file and it's sharp. It's a fairly new file. The sharper the file, the easier this job goes. So I'm going to start filing, and the way you have to file, you want to file this direction. You want to file towards the end of the rail. If you start filing this way, it's going to catch the end of the rail, and it's going to want to bend it, and it's very awkward to do. So you want to file away from the end of the rail, just like that. It doesn't take much, a few passes. And I'm filing along the full length of the tool, all the way from the back to the front. And the reason you want to do that is it helps the tool wear evenly, so you're not going to wear down one spot of the tool. So I'm just filing it off until I'm flush with the edge of the tool, and you'll feel the file will bite into the rail because it's a softer material than the edge of the tool. As soon as you're through the rail, it'll start to skip along the edge of the tool. I can feel already that that's filing differently. Just a couple of passes like that, and we're done. You can feel that that's nice and smooth. It's flush along with the edge of the tool. That piece is ready to come out. Okay, that's done. It's ready to come out of the tool. So we'll just loosen off our bolts here. Pull it out of the back of the tool. Set that aside. Let's have a look, see what kind of a job we did. That's very nice. It's a very very precise 1/2 of a number 6 frog point. You can see there's a little bit of a burr on here, a little bit of fuzz, and that comes off quite easy just with your fingernail, just like that. And there'll also be a bit of fuzz along the bottom of the rail. Just knock that off. And that's nice and sharp, very pointy. That's exactly the effect we want. So now I'm going to do that same process again and make the opposite rails, because we need a left and a right of this piece of rail. Okay, I filed the second frog point, and you can see how nice of an angle there is on each of these two halves. And when you join them together, it forms a very precise number 6 frog point. So I'm just going to put them in the fixture here. And the way that goes in, you just drop them into the fixture and slide them forward till they meet. These are symmetrical frog points, so they are both identical. So you just want them to touch both at the same time in the tool like that, and it gives you a nice point. You can see how they're meeting up at the end there, and we'll solder those in place when we actually build the turnout. So that's a nice sharp frog points.